Hi guys, it's Marissa here. I just wanted to share some thoughts with you. I was really excited to hear about Liberals' plan to guarantee loans for first home buyers. So I just thought I would spend a few minutes sharing my thoughts on what I think about the whole idea. Basically, let me explain it first. So Liberal has come out saying that they're going to guarantee the difference between or that they're going to guarantee the deposit effectively for first home buyers, which means that first home buyers would only need a 5% deposit plus costs like stamp duty and everything to be able to buy their house, and they would not have to pay lender's mortgage insurance. So first home buyers already can buy a home with only 5% deposit. But if they only have 5% deposit, they do need to pay lender's mortgage insurance now, which can sometimes be tens of thousands of dollars. So this plan and proposal by the coalition, by the Liberal government, is great for first home buyers because it will save them tens of thousands of dollars when buying their first home, and it will maybe attract them to get into the market a bit sooner, which I think is fantastic. So I'm really for it. I think it's a great proposal. The thing that I love about it the most is that the plan is going to be encouraging first home buyers to support smaller lenders apart from the big four, so to promote banking competition, which I think is fantastic. I think the more competition we have, the better, because that means that our lending margins reduce the more competition we have, which supports all Australian borrowers, so I think that's great. I also think that it's a really clever idea because not only will it help first home buyers get into the market sooner, but it's actually not going to cost the government anything. All the government will need to do is pay if the first home buyer defaults on their loan, and if the sale of their property is not enough to cover the loan proceeds. So really their liability out of this will be very little. So it's a really smart proposal by the government because it will help first home buyers without it actually probably costing the government that much money to implement. So I think big tick. And it was interesting to see that Labor have come out and now said that they'll match the proposal, which, is great because it's a great win for first home buyers. But I think that this proposal that Liberals come out with is a much more effective way to help first home buyers get into the market sooner, rather than Labor's proposed abolishment of negative gearing and the increase in capital gains tax. It seems like the coalition is trying to help first home buyers without increasing their living costs, whereas Labor are trying to help first home buyers supposedly by increasing taxes and raising more tax revenue and making living expenses more expensive for people that are renting. So I think there's a bit of a difference there. The only negative that I see with this proposal is that it is capped at 10,000 first home buyers per year, which is only 1/10 of the first home buyers that we normally see. So really most first home buyers will miss out on this. So that's a bit of a shame. I wish that it would go a bit further. I'm hoping that once it's implemented and, it's working well, that they can extend it to more first home buyers. And I think we need more innovative ideas like this from governments of the future to try and help first home buyers without having to increase taxes and without having to put more obligations on working Australians. So I think that more ideas like this is definitely encouraged from my perspective. I would still like governments to look at stamp duty. I think stamp duty needs to change, and maybe that could be another lever for first home buyers to give them free stamp duty. But I think the other thing that we're going to see, or that we need to see post-election, hopefully, is that the banks change some of their lending policies in relation to how they measure the serviceability of debt. So currently, the government assigns an assessment rate that needs to be complied with. So even though first home buyers are paying, mid 3s to high 3% for their home loan, they're being assessed as if their home loan interest rate is 7.5% to 8%. So, there's a bit of a difference there. And I think, with rates now, there's talk that rates are going to go down. We didn't see a rate cut in the last RBA meeting, but that was likely because of the timing with the election. But it might be that next RBA meeting on the next couple, we may see a rate cut. We certainly aren't expecting rates to rise anytime in the near future. So then the question is raised, could we look at the assessment rate? Could government help to ease the pressure on the banks to try and help not only with the deposit side, which is being dealt with by this new proposal, but also on the servicing side, which is also another component which stops people getting into housing. So anyway, they're my thoughts. Obviously, a big week ahead with the election on Saturday. Happy voting, everybody, and make sure that you make the right decision for yourself and your family. And yeah, I'll tune in when I've got another thought to share. Thanks. Bye.